Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of The Good Show, here at The Good Studio. We're on number 39. I don't have enough fingers to... I could actually do that. 30 and then 9.
You did that, you did.
Thank you.
Well done.
Yeah, so we're back. I'm a little bit late to the show. Mike is currently here. Semmler just made it back from QPAD, who sat in the chair over there. He's just chilling right now. And yeah, we got lots to talk about. WCS. DDoSing, but before we go there, hello corner. It's so quiet down here, it's freaking me out.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Sorry.
You guys okay?
I think it's a little bit... you can see when Trans is not here. Everything is not on
He's
time,
rowdy.
nothing is up here, but I got to say, Scruff is a better producer though. Sorry Trans, even though it's your birthday. But things are on time when Trans is here, so I'm missing him.
We need the fascist blood of trans, basically. So
Yeah, we need his
keep
yelling.
everything in line.
So,
What the fuck are you doing? What is that? That's Trans to me.
how'd you like the Dota 2 board, guys, that we obviously didn't bother moving?
I got to say that I totally dig the pig face that you did
It
in
almost feels
the
painted.
tournament.
Yeah.
And even though it maybe went out of line after a couple of games there, speculating about Venomancer and Blink Daggers and stuff, but yeah, I think it adds some extra value, and I think that it shows also that analogs and overlay are you can use both, and I think analog is kicking ass.
It's cool.
Okay. I wonder if I got people in chat spamming lag. Scriff, can you confirm or deny?
Are we dropping frames
Are we dropping
here?
frames?
We've dropped some frames, but
We
it
drop-
hasn't dropped in a while.
We dropped some frames.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
Some,
we're-
not.
We're
Half
okay.
frames is okay.
Trans is at home DDoSing
It's Trent's birthday,
right now.
so
Yeah,
Yeah.
trans is probably DDoSing after Hellspawn's comments.
He's actually at
It's
home.
on
He's
their
just
far
like
bottom present.
he didn't even know it was his birthday. He
You didn't know?
tweeted yesterday. It was like, "Holy shit, it's my birthday!" I just found out via like
Well, I
either
was
Facebook
like,
or
I don't even know. Is today his birthday or was
Yeah, it is
yesterday?
today, it is
So why
today.
was he saying
it
it was
says today on Facebook, doesn't it?
okay?
yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't know. So he's just like, "It's my birthday." Script producer. But I don't know what he's doing because he's in
I
chat.
think it's
He's in
fair.
chat, they're
Maybe he
fighting.
had plans prior and after. You don't know. But got to say though, I don't get it. This
Oh, which camera's out of focus? We look great.
Doesn't look too out of focus.
We look fucking
but
fantastic.
Good job, Scriff.
Bruno comes in here screaming, "Out of focus, my main camera, out of focus!"
Yes, that's me.
Is he good?
Sure.
That's good.
Now it's crisp. But I just noticed on Twitch page they have this vote for Twitch in the 2013 Webby Awards.
Oh, really?
I'm
It's
so
like- it's
tired
like-
of all this
it's like
Webby
they're running for
Awards,
president or
Shorty
something.
Awards, all this
That's quite
other
sad. I mean,
internet
haven't they won
awards.
the Webby Awards before?
Is
Webby
it?
Awards big? Sorry,
Yeah,
I don't know about
It's a
it.
big thing in the web industry, but it's
Cool. But they are in
It's not going to be a big
it's
thing
the
in
Oscars of the web
the
industry.
steel
It's not big in
mining.
pharmaceuticals.
The Webby Awards. Can you describe what the Webby, how prestigious they are? They're big in the web industry.
Yeah, they are.
Big on the internet means big in real
I think
life.
that explains it a lot, doesn't it?
I don't know.
It's
Well-
it's the big in the web industry. It's not big outside of the web industry.
But I think everything like TV and media house, they are in their own little bubble, and like PR bureaus and stuff like that. They are like in this own kind of way,
Yeah, so for the Twitch
having their
people-
own awards for themselves.
Yeah, I mean it's the same thing. And if for the Twitch people, if they win this, it's big for them, I guess. The programmers and the front end developers and whatnot.
No, Twitch are cool. Don't be like that.
I'm not sure what I said.
But don't have this kind of plague on the site. I don't like that.
What is it, like a background takeover? I
No,
can't even see
like
it.
I can't even take it away. I just need to vote to get rid of it. I guess I don't know.
There's only like 33 million unique users that use Twitch every month. I'm sure that's not going to rig it. You want to watch our streams? Vote yes. Site goes down otherwise. Okay, so let's get into the document and get started. But everyone's generally okay. You just came back from Canada.
Canada, yeah.
Gladiators. I like fuck this. I'm not gonna play World of Warcraft again. So I'm back to Diablo after like playing the first week, and then I started again. That's 1 year later, but it's kind of fun, I would say.
Stream died and came back up again.
Stream died and
Stream
came back up.
died DDoS. Oh my
Oh, shit,
god, the
big
fire
DDoS.
Semmler. fire
No,
Semmler.
it's the webby guys that are basically
The webby guys are mad. Don't fuck with the web.
Now they're going after us.
the web industry is mad.
We have 5 viewers. I can confirm 5 viewers.
Yeah.
Great.
Here comes
Well,
Bruno again.
Let's see. Stream died.
alright, Bruno, how's it going now, Bruno?
Well, stream died.
Stream died.
Stream is dead.
And
good.
you're lagging, Bruno.
Anything else you'd like to point out?
Why did the stream die, guys?
Yeah, why'd the stream die, Scriff?
Why did the stream die?
Yeah.
Trans?
Scruff asked Trans, why did the stream die?
I'll Skype Trance. Maybe he'll.
Where are you, Trans?
He's not on. I bet he's on like a peer offline. He's definitely there.
Trans says DDoS. What the fuck?
Oh, we're fucked now.
We're fucked.
So, people will come back to the stream, probably want some great news. So, yeah, I've been playing Mr. Pandaria. Welcome back to the stream. And we're just going to play it just so we could do a couple dungeons together. Like, just check it out. And it's really depressing. Like, it's not a game for me anymore. My first dungeon I had to fight giant rabbits.
Giant rabbits.
Yeah, but they also had mallets. But then you kill them and you get their mallet, and then you can twat the other rabbits. I think it's a kid's game.
I
You know
think
what?
it might
You're
be.
becoming more and more like Odie. It's quite funny to see.
What?
You're growing into Odie.
Oh.
That's his exact description of World of Warcraft like 5-6 years ago.
Yeah, but it was like, the game got simplified, the dungeons were fast but boring, fighting giant rabbits wasn't really what my orc wants to do.
Yeah.
You know what I
Arena
mean?
is better than in Cataclysm and Battlegrounds, I can say at least. And I think raiding also is better than Cataclysm.
So are they
But I'm
still,
not sure.
are they still losing
But-
players for a while? Or 'cause this might be some...
I think that Mr.
There's-
Pandaria had a really big peak during when it was released. Like, surprisingly big, but now it's down again. Maybe we should talk esports and maybe not World of Warcraft. What do you think, James?
What? I was looking at something else, because I realized we were talking about WoW.
Yeah,
The game
if
shit.
we could stop that would
Yeah,
be
the
great.
game-
I
the game
think.
shit.
I mean,
I'm going to play a little bit more just so I can really understand how shit it is. But we'll leave it at that. So let's get into the news. Because we do actually talk about relevant esports stuff that's happened over the last week.
we try to.
Firstly, we should mention in general news, a new alliance is born. Yes.
That's why I was saying for the Horde last week.
Yeah, I know. So Alliance is announced. Alliance is a new gaming team in Europe. It has no Tidehunter joining for Dota 2, Nannyworth for Starcraft, and Hellspawn knew the name of it and what was happening, hence he said for the Horde last week before it even got announced. It's. I don't know if we can bring up the page. Let me see if I can just get it up and see if Scriff can see what we see. Bloody hell! Here you go. This is the Alliance, and it's hosted by EG. It's on a GG website. Alex Garfield messaged me 6 months plus ago and was like, "Hey, do you own this website?" And it was like .gg, and I was like, "No, I own glhf.gg." And then he was like asking where it's hosted and stuff. And so 6 months ago, must have been 6 or 9 months ago, I remember, because I hardly talk to Alex. I don't have time for kids. But he basically was like, "Where's GG hosted?" Now he's hosted a GG website, which is cool. And it's going to be run not by the people at EG, though. It's actually going to be a different general manager outside of EG, so you won't have Cody or someone running it.
Do you know who's running it?
No, don't know who's running it, but
That'll be interesting. See who's running
That's
it.
my.
But I mean-
that's my most. That's the thing I'm mostly interested about. I mean, seeing who is actually going to manage Nanyuan.
But is that yeah, that's actually a good point. But I mean, is that like just day-to-day operations and then sponsorship stuff
all
will
the
still be
sponsorships
handled?
is going to be by EG, as far as
so
I'm
It's
completely
basically
sure
a
about.
subsidiary brand, basically. It's nothing else.
It's funny because we spoke about how teams, they're okay these days, they do good, but also an agency can do what a team does.
I think it makes a lot of sense.
We
how they're doing
started
this.
an agency and we put the QPAD Red Pandas under it, so we help them with the QPAD sponsorship. They're under the agency. They play Dota 2 as a team. And this as well, if they don't pick up many more players that they might not need to, because you only really need a few star.
They did say
brands.
they said there were going to be more players,
Yeah.
like more Europe. So I mean, it's
Most
definitely
likely
focused on
Starcraft
Europe.
2 stuff, but
Yeah.
it's like same owner, Alex Garfield, different name.
Yeah, and they have Razer as the only and the main sponsor. I
But-
think that for me, I wonder if it would have been better to have like a EG.EU, because they have Forsain, they have Stefano, they have their League of Legends team, so maybe that would have been a stronger one.
I think there are advantages and disadvantages to having the same brand in both markets. I think it's a
Yeah,
good move, basically starting.
What
a new
would have been
brand.
cool would have been if it would have been SteelSeries sponsoring this, because
Yeah.
then would have EG with Razer working with Razer, and then the alliance with like SteelSeries or like AMD or Sapphire. Sapphire they had before, right? Or something
Yeah, they
like
used to have Sapphire.
something like that. That would have been like more cool, or like Red Bull or something like that. But I think maybe that would be a little bit hard, at least in the beginning. But that must be the idea of dividing it. I think it's odd though that they tried to keep it as a secret that it was EG or something like that, and very fast, like through IP and stuff, same host as their EG server.
Yeah, it wasn't hard at all to figure it out.
Well, I mean, there was speculation for ages with no Tidehunter being contracted by EG, and then there are screenshots of Naniwa at the EGTL house in
Yeah.
Korea. So, yeah, but they've all been completely silent about the whole thing. So that's kind of
You know what the
funny.
funny thing is? I think that if you bring up that picture again,
Oh, wait a minute. You're asking me to do things. Okay, bringing it up.
the
There you
picture
go.
of Loda, that's not his body actually.
It's not his body.
Really?
Sure about
Yeah,
that?
there's a someone on Reddit found it. I think there's a picture of the Zenith team,
Oh,
and they basically have moved the head from Loda's body to this. I don't know.
fair
Because
enough.
I
People in
think I
chat
thought
might
this
be able
was
to
the
find it, but it's
international
so funny
picture.
to see.
I thought this was the international picture, and they just
Yeah, but
taken away the logos of Zenith or something like that.
yeah, but they moved his head to not the guy in front of him's body.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's X Freedom's body, apparently.
Yeah, someone should check. If someone can
Oh
post
man,
the link
chat!
somewhere.
Someone please
I don't
find.
like
the
shopping heads, to be honest.
All right.
It's quite funny.
Someone in chat actually said that an agency can't have a team house. Yes, they kind of do. It's my office. But the Red Pandas are moving to QPAD training facility, and then they get their own team house. 'Cause, when they actually get a house, they can find
Overall, great. I mean, no Tidehunter, Nanova, such a strong team to release.
Yep.
For me, I was maybe a little bit annoyed that all the talk was about like who will they sign next. I think having no Tidehunter, Nanova from the get-go, you should focus on that and what that will mean and what that will bring.
They don't need to sign anyone else.
No,
I
no.
think a smart decision would be to keep it at 6 people, basically. Because EG has got a lot of players, and it would be an interesting experiment to do. And it's like 6 or 7 players, maybe.
But are they going to move like Forzane to the Alliance? Keep him EG?
I don't. think so.
I think they're going to keep him EG. But
Yeah,
like,
I think. Well, it's kind of like if you're maybe one of EG's smaller sponsors, and you're like, I can't think of one off the top of my head somehow. But it's like all of a sudden EG is moving players from their one team that you sponsor to their other team that only Razer sponsors. They might be kind of like, what the fuck are you doing?
The interesting thing for me as well is like if you've got two different franchises, you've got EG and now you've got the Alliance, surely you want to separate your sponsors, the people that wanted to work with you who maybe couldn't. And they dropped SteelSeries for Razer for EG, and then they also took Razer over to the Alliance. Surely SteelSeries had budget. They were like, I doubt
Yeah,
Steel,
exactly.
Who knows?
like why not have SteelSeries over here, Razer on.
It would have been
Main
really
thing.
cool if they signed an IP also into this with SteelSeries. That would be like the triangle or
That'd be
some
pretty
Swedish
epic.
thing.
But
NIP are just really financially well
they
set
don't
up.
need.
though.
Yeah, they don't need EG to
I
come.
mean,
give them more
NIP
money.
will probably look for a Dota 2 team and Starcraft 2 team in the future.
Yeah,
I
Um,
heard they're looking for a LoL team, actually.
Are
Wasn't
they?
there
Oh.
an interview with Hedon saying that he's looking for a LoL
I don't
team?
think that. I don't remember exactly, but I think his words were more that if we go into something else, probably it would be League of Legends at this point and not StarCraft 2. But they were looking at many games, as I understood it.
I know Forest would like to have a Dota team. just so he could play more Dota with people. He loves his Dota 2. I think he was at Starladder with a Dota 2 mousepad, actually. I think the Dota 2 community saw that as well.
But it's really cool for Naneva also having a team finally, and I mean, probably he cannot get a better home, and we will see how long he will last and how he will do. I think actually that he's up in par and will do really good, both competitor-wise and promotion-wise, because I think that still he's a good way of representing, like in these interviews, and like if he's not in a competing environment, more on a relaxed or after directed tournament, he's really good in front of a camera. So I think that he can represent in that way. I mean, he likes racer gear. He played racer gear more or less throughout his whole career. So I think that also makes sense for him.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see what happens with the alliance, and I think it's a good idea business-wise. I don't see anything too problematic about it, even if it's owned by EG. But I'm sure that they had their reasons that they didn't want to just say EG are opening this, because EG are more of a media house sometimes in the gaming.
Yeah,
team.
they are. Well, I mean, I think when I look at EG, I feel like their brands of one more game and EG are way too intertwined, and so
I think
it makes sense to try and keep this distance, and probably even with their new stuff they're going to work on. Because they said they're not doing any shows this week. They're working on One More Game TV. So I feel like they're going to try and separate all of these a bit more.
As far as I can recall, I think One More Game TV is owned by Alex, Sir Scoots, and DJ Wheat.
Yeah, I think so.
But with Sir Scoots now not really working on it, I'm not sure what percentage each person owns of the project.
I mean, Garfield is the CEO of One More Game, so it's
Yeah.
basically controlled by him as well.
I missed also the hype, or like the movie release. They're always doing something, and now it was just a site with the alliance. Yeah, missed that part.
All right, well, more general news in terms of some stuff that's coming up. A Finnish team has been announced with a Starcraft 2 and a CSGO division. It's called Ence. I hope that's how you pronounce it. I've got it up in front of me. It's got Elfie in it for their Starcraft 2. I actually don't recognize the CSGO players.
I think Dream is the big one. He's one of the...
Which one's he?
Good question. Sorry.
Dream's the big one. So big I can't pick him out from 5 people.
I think it's the next one from the right.
Okay.
Next to Elfie. I think it's Dream. I think he is the big... I think at this point maybe he's the biggest Finnish player. I'm not sure, but he's been around for a long time.
It's interesting to see that they're focusing on Finland as well. There's usually been a couple of teams that's focused in Finland, like Destination Skyline, like 10 years ago almost. And
this is put together by
Logitech and teams like that, but they've never had any big
It's the old guy behind who's helping organize the Aces ROG events, Petri.
Yeah.
Oh, is it him?
Yeah,
I thought it was.
That's really cool actually, because I mean Petri has been the holder of the WCG Nordic license for many years. And they, done all the esports assembly. They did the Aces ROG during 2011, 2012.
Well,
he's also been managing Elfie for a long time. And I think it's cool that he's back to esports, because I think that he retired some couple of months ago.
He retired after Aces ROG, which was the event we did for Aces. Also because I probably bitched and whined at him, because I didn't enjoy working with you, Petri. You, nice guy, but yeah. Do better next time, and I wish you would have paid Zane out also, Petri, his prize money from the tournament. A little bit late. He messaged me about 3 weeks ago asking where's the prize money from Aces ROG that was held at the end of I think it was like August or something. It was sometime around there. So pretty sad, but. He went into retirement afterwards, which is what you should do when you work with me, because you know that you haven't got a chance, and I'm annoying as fuck. But then he tweeted that it's time to come back, so he's come back. Now, I think actually running a team is a lot more suitable for Petri, because then he has less impact on my life in terms of having to do tournaments with him. And
I really got to defend though Petri, because I worked with him for many years, and he's always been really nice and not being in for the money, but being in for the cause of bringing esports to the Nordic region and especially Finland. And for me, I haven't had any big problems at all. Overall, he's a really nice guy. Brinning. He's really into esport for sure.
Yeah, he is.
For a long time. So
Yeah, he is. But,
I think that maybe you.
there's a lot of people.
I don't agree with you on that part, but I didn't work with as a Surog though.
And then the sponsors he's picked up to bring up the screen again that are worth mentioning. Gyms is a sponsor that he's had good contact with for a little while that provide, like, you know, they sell PCs, etc. and stuff.
They're retail.
Retailer, yeah.
Okay.
And SteelSeries, which isn't too surprising. But I think this is it's a good addition, and I think he can do this well enough.
I just realized the character in the logo is like standing there with his arms crossed.
Yeah, I was going to say, what is that? Like,
and then all the players are as well, except is it Elfie? Yeah.
Yeah, they also look like they've got a team house, by the way. Look, I don't know if this is just boot camping or if that's a cup. Oh, it's a Face It cup. Oh, yeah, Face It had CSGO. But since they're all in Finland, we'll see what they're going to do. But it's nicely set up, and hopefully it does justice for the Finnish teams. But I'll leave it at that, after having my dig. I'm allowed to have a dig.
It's what they tune in for, so, yeah. And speaking of digs, our next topic.
Wargaming.net League Season 1 Finals at DreamHack Summer. Let's check this out. worldoftanks.eu, if you aren't a regular visitor. You can go here and you can see a nice DreamHack 2013 logo. Don't really know what's going on, to be honest. This is DreamHack. And Hellspawn, you're having the finals of their Season 1 league at DreamHack. So what does this mean?
Lots of money.
It actually means exactly that. I think they released this Season 1, I don't know, some couple of months ago. And they will have the finals at DreamHack Summer. So that's really cool. I don't know what to add on that.
How many players are coming? What tanks?
Good question.
What tanks
I'm not really running the
Has
tournament.
the assault tank been nerfed yet?
Yeah, what tanks are they running in the metagame these days?
I don't know, but that game is not so bad when playing
The German tanks are always the best in World of Tanks.
Yeah, but it's just so big in Russia. But I don't know actually about like.
It's interesting to see that Mouse Sports, Meteor Makers, Asuba, and a couple of other teams actually had World of Tank teams.
In the ladder, it's like Virtus Pro in the top, Meteor Makers in the mid with Mouse Sports. But I actually don't know the prize money or so with this. I think you can find it out on WOTProLeague.com, I guess.
Who's running the league side before it gets to DreamHack?
ProLeague.com.
Who's running the online side before it gets to DreamHack?
I believe it's ESL.
Okay. Cool. And that wraps up World of Tanks.
But I mean, you can put it in the same maybe as Heroes of New York normally or in the past have had their finals.
Mm-hmm.
Is it
Selling
the
out
first, is it
like
the
a
first
buzz.
finals of World of Tanks at DreamHack? Is it the first time World of Tanks will have a tournament there?
For sure, at this kind of like big level.
Oh, I mean, are they going to have it at Dream Arena Extreme, the finals, or their own stage?
I can't say at this point. I think a schedule will be released. I think maybe we will build like a gigantic arena, maybe the biggest one for it.
Gigantic arena.
Gigantic.
That sounds huge.
It is.
Maybe get some life-size tanks in there.
Yeah. The Swedish,
cool.
the Swedish.
Why not build a giant?
Yeah, the Swedish defense is there with tanks, so yeah. It's
Gigantic.
To bring tanks.
we normally have tanks at DreamHack, so and airplanes.
Yeah, you have the Swedish Army there. All right, then. So let's move on out of general news. We've covered like the three big things that are happening. So the Alliance, EU team, EG behind it, the Finnish team, Petri behind it with Elfie in it, and World of Tanks is going to be at DreamHack Summer. Don't know how that made it into the document. So let's move into StarCraft 2. A lot to talk about. We've got two sections. We've got WCS, then we've got non-WCS. I don't know, are we taking a break and actually getting Sean in for this or not?
That's why he's sitting there, I
Sean,
think.
are you coming in for the show?
No, you guys can handle it. I'll watch.
I didn't realise if we were taking a break or not.
No, just keep going. I'll just watch.
You know, you're just not prepared at all, James, and I'm really disappointed in you.
I'm disappointed in
Let's
me
just
more
go.
than you are. So I'm disappointed in you for not being as disappointed in me as I am, because it means you don't care. We're going to break. When we come back, Sean. Yeah, fine. Put us back. Welcome back to the good show. We're talking about Mingles. She wanted to go out or she doesn't? Oh, Mingles, what are you doing?
Oh, see?
That was
She just
sneaky.
wants some attention and just show her butthole to everybody at home, which she's now done. Right?
Cat
Can't
hub.
see. Oh, no, she isn't, but...
What'd you do with Semmler?
Semmler was late, and then I'm sitting here, and then... I don't know what Semmler happened with
Well,
Semmler,
Semmler was
man.
working today, actually, with Q-Pad on some stuff. And then he came back, like, 2 minutes before the show. And then I was like, yeah, you were going to be on it? He's like, yeah. And then I come down and everyone's sat in the right positions, like, and I'm like, Sam, don't worry. It's like, go down the shop and get me some cigarettes or something.
Working hard
it
to
was
get
pretty
booted at the show.
Huh?
Working hard all day, getting booted at the show. That's the one.
No, it's okay. It's like,
he's
if he's
reward.
been working all day. It's not like,
Deserves a break.
yeah, give the man a break. Jesus. There's new alliance roster setups with me and you on the team, apparently, Hellspawn. Okay, so we're going to move into Starcraft 2 WCS. That's why we've brought the shoulder pads in.
Hello.
How's it going?
Thanks for having me.
You got your wall picture. What the fuck?
What are you guys doing?
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh.
So WCS, a lot to talk about. Things are changing. Things apparently weren't official. Things are getting more official.
Massive clusterfuck.
It's starting to kick off. Dignitas said that. It's alright though, because none of their StarCraft players will ever get into a tournament, so Newman knows he can say what the fuck he likes.
Yeah.
Bling actually did pretty well.
That's
but
why I prefer the open
qualify.
tournament.
You got close.
So, I guess Mike's the best to introduce this StarCraft stuff, but where do you want to go first, Mike? Do you want to go into
Well, I
the
mean,
players that have come in?
Like,
or?
yeah, we could talk about the players a little bit, I guess. I mean, this is the first thing on the document, so I guess we can do that. I don't know. I think, I don't even know the name. I don't know what's with me.
I've got the players up, Mike.
All right, well, let's bring them up and we can look at them. I mean, most of them are not, like, nothing's... I guess the wow factor or, like, the discussion point is the Koreans that are seated in. There's pretty much 8 non-North American residents / certain South American countries. Yeah, basically the bottom 8 are the people that are not considered North American, even though there's a bunch of people who were, like, Capoch, I think is how you say his name. Do you know Apollo? Yeah, he's from Argentina, but he got seated in because of WCS. A lot of these guys, basically because of WCS results.
Killer at the top as well.
Yeah.
I mean, Paul he started in Texas, so.
But he counts as one of the. Basically, they did 24 invites. 16 of them were people that they, by their considerations, were North American, and then 8 invites were people not from the region but wanting to play in that region. So if you go back to the list, it's Nestea, Snoot, Moonglade, Sen, Violet, Polt, Hero, and Ryung. And the big controversial thing that the community kind of grasped onto is the fact that DeMuslim didn't get an invite.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, he's been living in the EG house in Arizona for, I want to say, like 2 years. How long? Like,
I don't think he's got a visa yet.
like, well, I mean,
How can it be in US for so long time?
Never go outside and just sit
I mean, he was
Yeah,
flying back and
if it's
forth
illegal,
a lot.
yeah.
Yeah, I
but,
think it's interesting that Snoot picked America as well.
Do we know why Snoot picked?
I don't know.
Yes, I think the reason it's not why he picked it. It was more of a Team Liquid decision because I think he's going to go back and forth from Korea. I think he's going to stay in Korea for practice, go to America, play WCS, then go back to Korea.
Because Rhet's in, we can bring up Europe as well, and we'll come back and just talk about the whole situation. But I think Rhet was
That's
one
He
of
doesn't
not-
want to do
European
back and forth
players, right?
Korea, Europe.
That's
Oh, wait,
Korea.
this is Korea. I need to go back up. I was like, these guys don't look very European. Yeah, Rhet is there for Team Liquid. Who else is from Team Liquid here?
TLO. I think that's it.
Okay. Grabby, Nurturers, okay. Okay, so we all knew that some Korean players that weren't showing up one day to compete in the, was it the
Code A? What? Qualifier?
Challenger? Can't call it Code A. Were likely to be playing, and then there was a list. So how does this kind of work for you guys?
I mean, I think we still have to kind of wait to see how the North American qualifier goes, because so far the European qualifier, it's basically been MVP finale and then a couple other Koreans not able to qualify, but they've been playing with a lot of lag. There's not many of them, but the North American qualifier,
It'll be full of them.
Not as much lag. You're gonna have Jaedong, Tasia, whoever else. Like it's
TJ is in
he's
Korea.
but he's declared for North America, so I'm not sure.
He's on the list here.
Oh wait, for Korea.
Yes.
Yeah, but that just means he's Codes now. It's the same as because MC is going to be playing in Europe after, but I guess he can't qualify until
That would be season
season
2 challenger.
So he can, so not Tasia yet, but
So MVP didn't qualify.
MVP got
It's
seeded.
Not MVP.
MVP got seeded to Europe.
Okay. So how's it gone so far, really? I just want to kind of just generally talk about what's been going on.
Can we
because-
just finish this list and then go on to that?
Yeah.
Okay.
You wanna go
I
through
think
everything?
actually a lot of people thought there would be more Koreans seeded in. So I think that overall it was not so big problems. I think that like most people were happy about the European one. I didn't see many complaints at all, to be honest.
No, I think the European one is kind of perfect. Like it's like you've got some Korean Terrans there, so that like if anyone wins, it's like this is legit. And then you've got just all the good big name Europeans. The North American one is kind of one. It's kind of wonky because you've got players like Hello Kitty. You've got players like maybe I'll actually bring it up on my heater so I can look at it. That would help. But it's like over players like De Muslim and Ostagy, some of these guys that we kind of see more in the North American scene. I mean, it all depends on who qualifies, I feel, because I don't think we'll see that many North Americans get through that qualifier.
Well, in the North American part, it was mainly the Muslim that was the talking point. I think that
Yeah.
for sure he should have been seeded, but in other way, I don't know how many.
Would you
like?
see it as an American or one of the top 8 that wasn't?
Yeah, maybe that's the question. And also, what kind of official results has
Well,
done,
he-
except of course the ladder and like.
NASL.
Yeah, but when was that?
It was the last season, wasn't it? I mean, that
Yeah,
was,
it must
so-
have been in the end of the year.
I mean,
yeah.
when I look at that and
True.
I compare him to Moonglade's results, I would probably say,
Moonglade's better still.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
close though. Yeah, I mean,
Moonglade's done a lot of Intouch Masters
Yeah.
and stuff and WCS. But going on to your point, when you said is where does the Muslim belong in top 16 of the Americans that are invited or not, he was actually categorized in the other group, but he wasn't high enough ranked according to MLG that did it because of his results and so on. The reason why he wasn't there is because of that.
Because I think Rion, Hero, Violet, Palt, Moonglade, and Nestea Snude
They're all better than the Muslim.
against the Muslim. I don't think it's like, oh my god, why didn't get into
Yeah.
it? But for sure, like if you live in America, why not?
I think I agree. I think he should have been included in the other
Yeah.
16. I mean, basically, what MLG kind of did is they drew a line where they said these 8 people, these 8 spots go to people not from North America by their standard thing. Because I mean, there's a bunch of Koreans that applied to be in this. That like I mean, Jaedong. Why isn't Jaedong seated in? Right? Like I don't know. I mean, he's good. Has he had better results than Moonglade and Sen and Snoot? And I don't know.
Well, it's Jaedong, so he has.
Yeah, I mean, so but he's playing in that region and he's not seeded in, so he has to go through the qualifier, and so it's like
How many people are actually in that list?
24.
24. So there's 8 that are going to come up from...
The
Qualifiers,
8 will qualify.
Is this like everybody in the Challenger plays?
There is no
Or-
No,
Oh,
challenge.
open qualifier.
It's just open. Well,
so, like in America, what's that, like 512?
yeah, because we were going to talk about qualifiers later,
Okay.
but I mean,
I think we're on the point now.
yeah, we can just go. Okay, perfect. So I mean, the MLG qualifier is 512 slots, double elimination, best of 3 all the way through, top 8 qualify.
Okay.
As
and then that locks in
That
the
locks
Premier
in
League for
yes.
WCS.
And then
of
there will be
America.
another qualifier for Challenger that I'm not sure all the details off the top of my head.
So they do one qualifier in the States, basically.
They do one qualifier instead of
Yeah.
the 4 with top 2 going that ESL have been doing.
Because ESL have been running the Go for Starcraft Cups, right?
Yeah.
And they've been calling them Go for Starcraft.
Yeah, I'm promoting with the 150 euros that on a stake.
Here
That
we
just
go.
seems a little bit weird.
Well, I
This
mean,
whole WCS thing hasn't come out with the right branding at all. It's completely been crap across the board. It's been called
I mean, you
Codes
watch
in
yeah,
Korea,
GSL. It's,
Go for Starcraft in Europe, and we're getting to NA, but
I think
come
that
on, Hellspawn.
I think at looking at Blizzard has. I mean, there were a lot of confusion after the release of WCS, but then after one week and when the information came, it was still, I would say, clear. Like, no, what they released has been been covering, like, easy to find.
Yeah.
And I think they are promoting the qualifiers and everything like that, and the dates, that was done properly. But it's strange when you're going into the ESL site, all you see is like EMS raid call that was happening at the same time. And when you go into the Go for Starcraft 2, you just don't see anything about WCS. And then it was like, under the second part, it was WCS where you can click to a link where you can actually find the bracket.
Yeah.
And I mean, today I think it was a big mess with that. If you signed up, you had to click to verify, and the 61 first seconds, all the 512 slots were taken.
I mean,
so I think that a lot of things have been not working out with ESL in a good way.
All the big name players, aside from a couple of the unknown Koreans on Western teams like Shuttle, and there's another one I saw one of the managers posting it on Reddit. But all like Happy Zerg posted like, oh, I missed the set off thing, but it's like he was already seeded in. So I think like in terms of these qualifiers, like the players who should be in them aren't missing out. And I think it's like some of it is an overreaction. There has been problems, but it's like it's just kind of bizarre because I mean, if there's 512 slots and 1,000 people that want to play in it, their system, like what is the system? It's just basically whoever checks in first.
Yeah, it always has been that way.
But that doesn't include the seeded players,
if it's
though, right?
€150, or if it's a tournament to 1.6
million. Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying
million.
that's always been their standard is fastest finger.
I agree, but maybe it wasn't really suited for
but
this.
I agree with you.
Wasn't every single player that should be there seeded in? So it's like,
but it's also I mean, to Hellspawn's point, it's like if you're doing you're getting into this 1.6 million, and there's 1,000 people that want to play. 1,000 people should play, and your bracket size isn't 512.
I mean, I just kind of look at this and then I compare it to what MLG is going to be doing, which is only 512 players and only one qualifier, and that's it. So what happens if 1,000 people sign up for that thing and they don't get a chance at all whatsoever?
ESL are running 4 qualifiers with 512 per cup.
No, it was 1,000 the first one.
It was 1,000 for the Sunday weekend because I'm not sure why, because I guess it's because it's linked to the Go for SC2 and they do the Sunday is a bigger day or whatever, so that had a bigger bracket
schedule because on Sunday there's a longer day and these all start at like 4 or 5 p.m. so you can't have 1,000 bracket because there's not enough time in the day.
It's so weird as well. There's like no control from Blizzard that they're basically running it on Go for Starcraft.
Well, you wonder. Do you reckon? Because I mean, when the announcement came out, Blizzard were like, we want to help these companies that are running it self-sustain themselves in a way. Do you think they've gone ahead and be like,
they want to like empower them to do it as opposed to control everything the way Riot does?
I think the announcement, at least I did, I looked at it like they were going to use ESL as a production partner and basically use their system, and then basically it was going to be called WCS all the way through, and now it's basically a Go for StarCraft Cup, nothing else.
No, I'm disappointed with the branding because I feel it affects the bigger picture, which is how people are going to engage with the product, which is a product that the people are meant to be. This is the product that you should be following the whole year round. If you're into StarCraft, and even if you're not into StarCraft and you find it, you should be able to easily go back and see where it all kicked off. Not what's this Go for StarCraft? Yeah. Why is it still called GSL? Where's the branding in Korea? Where's?
Well, I mean, I feel like so much of it ties back to just how late how it's been, because it's like I would expect. I mean, Kalaris casting it.
Oh my God.
That was a lot of plates breaking upstairs or something. Kalaris casting, it's like there wasn't any real graphical assets. I mean, it took Apollo tweeting at him, being like, "Hey, you should on the screen behind you, you should put up a WCS logo there," and then he did it, and now then it's like, oh, now it feels a bit more like I'm watching WCS as opposed to whatever happens to be on ESL TV, because there's still the ESL TV thing there. Then there's also and like there's no in-game overlay that's like WCS, and so
it's very amateur.
Like they've said they're building a new studio, but it's just like all of this is just so short notice, it seems, and it's gonna hurt. But I mean, they've said that it's gonna be a rocky start. And so
I was gonna say what you just said is that. That they've made a lot of mistakes so far, but to be on the ESL side a little bit, they are building a WCS studio. I don't know if that's all their manpower's gone over to that.
Well, Kalaris was in a new studio today, so I don't know if that's
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I mean, but to add also, I mean, at the same time, ESL were doing LCS. They did the EMS 1 CSGO, but I think that the main problem is maybe that Blizzard just gave too little time, because it seems that Blizzard didn't send out, okay, this is how we want the online qualifications to be, because from the get-go, MLG, they took $19 for it, then they reversed that. ESL was best of one throughout the whole way, single elimination.
Up till round of 8 or something. Yeah.
MLG had double elimination, best of 3. So, I mean, there's a lot of points that are strange, and also that have kept Korea in a different way. Of course, they are better from the get-go, but they doesn't seem to put the same system all over the boards for Season 2 either.
It feels very rushed. I don't think you can blame ESL or MLG or anyone else. I think you can blame Blizzard, basically.
Yeah, but it was...
The project management of the entire WSS seems very rushed.
Yeah, but I mean, one point that I think it was it Monday's qualifier that ESL was supposed to be checking at 5:40, and then they moved it 40 minutes earlier. So a lot of players like, okay, I can go and get food and get prepared. Coming back, oh, tournament started 40 minutes ago. Yeah. Fuck, I missed my spot. I mean, that's not how you can do it. And there were admins, I think there were logs on Reddit about admins like saying that, oh, we just care about like the good players, the other ones we don't really care about, or something like that. And of course, you cannot write it about that. But I think that ESL overall has been very proactive in like changing and adapting and also explaining. I think that Sean, who is David, who is like their head admin for Starcraft, normally he did a good Reddit post
David
for Mike.
Kugelman,
your own flatmate.
Yeah.
I mean, you bring up it is to a certain extent Blizzard's mistake for putting it and rushing it so much to ESL, but there are a lot of fundamental mistakes that ESL are making. 90 minutes late on the first day, or 80 minutes, whatever it was. This check-in thing, prioritizing good players over bad players, just simple stuff.
I think with stricter management from Blizzard, though, it would be a lot better for ESL as well. I think ESL got...
But aren't ESL meant to be the guys that are handling it?
Yeah, no, but I mean... Yeah,
but you're looking for a key turn solution.
It's interesting, because I saw Frank Fields, he's one of the IPL guys, he was like messaging on Twitter all the players who have qualified for WCS EU, being like, can you follow me so I can DM you, contact information, blah, blah, blah. So it's like, I'm really curious how...
Follow me on Twitter so I can DM you information.
Yeah, so I
can help him. I have some contacts.
I think you have every single StarCraft player's fucking email. I'm sure
they all follow me. We can do it together, Frank Fields.
Also, you talked about how people are handling it differently, right? We obviously haven't seen America yet.
Does that give America a heads up then?
I think it gives America some warning, because I mean, I think like because right now when it's like I turn on Team Liquid and I see 10 streams of WCS qualifier games being streamed, I'm like, this is cool. Like, I like being able to just open the bracket on ESL. It's massive. It's like when you see players qualify for Code A and you're, rooting for the foreigner in there, or you're rooting for whatever storyline you like. Like, I think this has been really cool. And seeing, like, the 4 players that qualified are good. And then players like Shigwa coming from China playing in it. And then Panda Tank from South Africa being, 1 game away from qualifying. It's all, like, really cool. And so I feel like the North American one isn't going to be... I feel like the storylines are going to be crappy, because it's going to be like, okay, well, Jadon qualified, he beat all the North Americans, and then it's just one tournament, so...
I was surprised. I mean, I know all these players, they've been the tournaments have run, but Deshi I didn't really see qualifying, and especially not Bunny, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely not.
He did fairly well in the WCS last year, but I didn't see him being this strong. So I think those two are kind of surprised. I mean... Happy maybe should have been invited, I could say. Feast, I don't know his strength at this point and if he's still studying, but when he's been able to prepare for tournaments, he's always been stronger than people predicted, I think. So those two I could see, but Deshi and Bunny especially did hell of a good run.
It's because these Zerg players last year were having easy runs against Terrans. You're getting Terrans spring up more.
I hate that bullshit balance talk, to be honest.
All right, yeah.
I also saw that 950 people have signed up for the WCS North American. Was said in the chat.
How many?
So
50.
Really?
950.
So what do they
it's
do?
400 people who did not run for $1.6 million.
Yeah.
They should just open it.
I feel like there should have been a barrier, like you need to be Masters League. I mean, I don't have, like, people got so mad about the price to play, and I mean, maybe $19 is a bit steep, but to put 5 or 10 on it just to weed out the people who, because I mean, the goal here isn't like you're not going to have someone from Platinum qualify. Like there's
Zero chance.
Like from my perspective, it's pointless for them to play in it. Like it's fun for them because they're like, "Ooh, I got to
No,
play."
That's the
Jadon,
point, though. I mean,
but-
you need to see. I mean, someone in bronze need to see that there are steps to basically.
But they go on the ladder and they
That's
look
the
at their
ladder,
ladder
yeah.
and they're like, "I've got this many points." I don't
Yeah,
see
but what happens when you
this.
reach
as-
Masters or GM? I mean, there needs to be another step, basically.
Yeah, but that's why if you're in Masters, then you can play in it or something. Or I mean, even like if you're not Masters League, then you have to pay to play in it. That sounds
Well,
like
in
makes a lot
Korea,
of
the way that
sense.
Korea works, you have to be Masters to play
Yeah.
Code B. I mean, there's a lot of Master League players out there, but at least there's that barrier.
Yeah,
that's good,
I think overall, I don't know how much time they had to prepare and everything, but if I would have been able to have like 1.5 or 2 weeks for this qualification in total, I would just run 10 open brackets, 512 people, maybe 20 qualify from each of those, and then have like a weekend big tournament of
That's how
100,
DreamHack would have done it.
150 people, something like that. So like, you have 10 chances. Okay, you didn't get into this, but you can sign up to next or whatever, and you
Then
have
you
like
get
10
one
chances of it,
proper
and then
tournament.
just 20
Yeah.
people from each take them into 128 bracket or a group stage or whatever, and try to nail it down in two weeks. It's a mess
That
to do
sounds
it like
huge.
that,
That
but it
sounds
should
like-
be doable to maybe tweak it around. I think that's what they should have
Then you
done.
let everyone take part as well, which is important.
Yeah, I agree
Yeah.
with Newman. Even
good.
if you say yeah, sure, no bronze, and but it's
Yeah.
like it's the tournament.
Yeah, and it's
like,
Blizzard's tournament.
Yeah.
You really should allow everyone to play.
They should be able to even sign up through Starcraft 2, to be honest. Like
Yeah.
to the cups,
That-
like in
that-
Warcraft 3.
Or Blizzard could just put in an automated tournament system similar to like
Wasn't that in
something like
Warcraft
Bloodline
3?
Champions or Warcraft 3, and then they could actually host these smaller tournaments that don't need to be broadcast to actually get qualification spots similar to like what you have, and because they run automatically, ESL wouldn't need to run them, and then you'd have people qualifying on, then ESL would do the big ones at the end. But that's
I don't think that I had the time for it. I think the time is
to code a tournament system.
yeah.
Obviously, they're not going to do it in time now, but it's a pretty obvious feature for a multiplayer game these days. But people still miss the point. I wanted to ask about the differences between. I heard that across WCS, going from season to season, Europe and America have. Is it 8 people that can drop from Premier and go up to Premier? Is that correct?
No.
Like, what's happening with this situation? Like, it's
What you're getting at is the
where am I going, Mike?
Yeah, let me finish your talking point. Basically,
Make me sound really good, though.
all right. So, guys, James thinks that currently the way it's set to operate is that only 8 players. Basically, once all this stuff is done, once season 1 is done, once all these big open qualifiers is done, and then you've got your set Premier and Challenger players. From there, only 8 new players per season can enter Challenger. So, like, they run open qualifiers, like the Code B qualifiers for Code A. And in Korea, it's always been, well, it varies because they randomly seed people in and blah, blah, blah. But you get 22 slots for new players to come in. And for North America and Europe, it's only 8, which is not a lot. I mean, we can go into the document and we can just bring up the flowchart graphic because that...
Okay.
That,
That was loud.
That's, no,
da-
not
da-
there. No.
da-
Yep, there you go. Yep, further down. NAEU format. There we go, right there.
Yeah.
And this was announced like a couple of hours ago.
Yeah, this is hot off the press. But I mean, I guess, yeah, because I mean,
F11.
most of this was new. Thank you, Hellspawn. I've been trying to teach him that, but he
What?
just,
Who said F11? You did. Oh, I wasn't listening.
Mind trick.
yeah. So essentially, you see here, this is what people are being critical of. The top 8 from the open qualifier get in. So I mean.
This is from season to season.
This
right?
is, yeah, but like this is for when season 1 is done, this is
Yeah.
what it will look like. There'll be open qualifiers, there'll be 8 people that are already in Challenger League, and then there'll be your 32 Premier. So,
So the people that drop down, like the bottom 16, can still go back up.
yeah.
If they win
Yes.
their games.
If
Similar
you, yeah,
to how
it's
GSL works.
pretty much just like GSL, except for there's less. Challenger League is smaller, essentially. I
Now,
would say. I guess. So-
I have my opinion on this, which is actually more or less Mike's opinion, because Mike told me, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense. So what's your opinion on this, Mike?
I would say.
Oh, Hellspawn. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, did you say Sean?
We
I,
forgot
did,
you
I
were-
didn't listen.
We forgot you were here.
Ghost.
Sorry, I didn't listen.
No,
either.
he's
No,
asking
no,
Mike.
no, that's okay.
Huh?
He's
Newman,
talking to Mike.
Newman, what do you
Ah.
make of it? Let's bring up the picture, Newman, and you
Ah,
can explain it for
Hellspawn.
us.
I think it looks very confusing to begin with.
You got to read
Let me
every
just-
word.
No, let me just think.
Well, the
I
point
think
that
it's
we
too
were...
complicated for anyone that's basically a casual spectator to follow, first of all.
Well, it depends, because it's going to be ongoing, and people understand that if you come bottom 16, you're going to have to try and get back up through this, route, which is okay. But the point that we feel, and I say we, me and Mike and now, is that 8 slots. If you can only move 8 people up,
Yeah.
you're going to have this kind of a very non-punishing Premier League where you feel you're going to feel quite safe in terms
Well,
of.
aren't you moving top 16 up from the group stage of the Challenger League, though?
But that is in terms of people who are in the Challenger and Open qualifiers coming in. Mike would explain more.
Yeah, but if you look on the right, the bottom right blue,
Bottom
Challenger
right
League group
blue.
stage, you have a line saying top 16 goes to Premier League.
Yeah, so here, all right. So like from your challenger thing, you've got, this is like a bracket stage, like Code A, and the top 8 go to Premier for next season.
Yeah.
And then if you didn't get top 8 there, you've got a second chance, which is a group stage. And then the top 16 there go up to Premier. So getting up to Premier is not so hard. The hard part is getting into Challenger and just getting into this whole system, because
Which is
Luke's
here.
background
Yeah.
here, because pretty much you've got the mid 8 here, but so it's like out of 32 players, top 16 go up, the mid 8 remain, and then the bottom 8 drop out, and they have to requalify back here.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
It's a long way.
let's say we have 500,000 StarCraft 2 players in Europe. Only 8 of them can get into having the possibility
Season
of
2.
getting into it
Yeah.
for
It's
season
actually-
2.
it's harder getting into the Challenger and Premier League combined than getting into the Premier League.
Yeah.
Yeah, Challenger
I
is harder
mean,
to get to
when
than
you're
Premier.
already in
The thing is,
yeah.
like, there's only, depending how the Challenger League qualifiers look now, with so many Koreans playing in North America, there could be some Koreans that just can't get in off the bat, and then they have to qualify and get those 8 spots, and then they might be regretting going with North America. I don't
It's going to
know.
be hard for new talent from North America to get in.
Exactly.
It's
That's.
extremely hard.
I mean, if it was, I just feel like if people were actually eliminated in the bracket stage, like I feel like if you lose in the round of 48 in Code A, you are out, right?
Yeah, you are.
So why isn't there an extra round in the bracket stage
Wait, keep bringing it up again.
that if you lose,
I'm going to break this down one more time.
One more
But
time.
how has GSL been? That has been like an open Code A qualifier, more or less. Or
Yeah.
you have to be Code B to get to Code
well,
A.
Code B is basically nothing. Code B
Alright.
is just like you're a StarCraft player, pretty much. Like I'm Code B. Apollo is also
Yeah.
Code B. James, you're not Code B.
My code A.
You're Code D. But
Women
basically,
love the
how
people in
I
code
would
D.
change this, just off the top of my head in the past 10 seconds, is you add in another
At least
X
8.
amount of players so that there's this bracket stage has one more round, and then if you lose in that round, you're eliminated.
Like 64, like they had before.
Yeah, I mean, because isn't that what Code A is? Like if you lose in that first
If
round,
you lose in the first round of Code A,
You're
you're
out.
out of Code A.
yeah,
And
so
this, if you lose in the first round of the Challenger League,
you're not out at all. You just go into the up and
stage.
downs, which
Yeah.
is the group stage. So
yeah.
it's
It's weird because
interesting.
this is the thing that's been delayed the most by Blizzard. This and the point system, and so you'd think that there wouldn't be any holes in it.
I don't think it's
I think they're
holes.
basically
If,
making
that,
it
if that's
as
a
they go.
hole, if you call that a hole, I don't know.
I also think that I would have loved to have more people in the Premier League to be stuck, maybe 16, because I think it's good to build a base around players that are over some seasons, and I think it's better. I think at some point, like, you know, MVP dropping to the Code B is like, what? He has failed in 2 matches, you know, kind of like that. But I think the storyline from GSL, what I've been not liking with GSL is that I would like to see, you know, this big 1 million player Code B kind of stuff go into a challenge moders thing and then to Premier League. I think I would like to see that rhythm. Now it's like we start with Code S, then we play Code A at the same time, but for the next Code S, and we have some. It's like confusing.
You mean the scheduling of GSL?
I would like to have, you know, a lot of people less people,
Yeah, like
top league.
A funnel, basically. So much
And it
easier
goes
for
in that-
spectators to follow as well.
Yeah, in that rhythm.
Now it's a big, almost like a labyrinth or something. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's gonna
But
be hard,
it's
it's gonna be
GSL
hard to
format.
follow. It's going to be hard to make storylines, basically. Because people are going to move up and down all the time, it feels like.
But I mean, that's what happens. I think
Yeah,
it
but
works
between
okay.
leagues and names, I mean, it's, yeah, I don't know. It feels very... It feels like they took it from Code S or Code A and basically made something worse out of it.
Well, I mean, the point
I don't
is
know
that
if it's worse.
the point is, I think that you're used to watching GSL, and now you can watch a similar thing with North American and European players, and you know them and so forth. And I think that makes sense. I mean, because they want to have the same format everywhere. So, and I feel like they can't go and tell GSL like, here's your new format. Like the Korean scene is just so set in how they work. So, I don't know.
Sean. All right.
Yeah. You?
Yeah. We're gonna stop copying each other now.
You didn't copy me that one time.
I wasn't gonna do that.
Should we move on? Maybe talk about the
points.
Well, I mean, we
point
got to talk
system?
about the points and the prize
Yeah.
distribution as well.
Yeah, price distribution. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This is something which James should be very happy about.
Yeah, I
As
don't know.
is-
Was it leaked or was it some like
No,
official saying
like,
ESFI?
no, like people, like okay, I'm gonna say what I at least know, right? Blizzard were like, okay, this isn't official. People who got that information got it from Blizzard.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna name them, but the original one pretty much was what Blizzard were gonna do.
I mean, Total Biscuit publicly said that he had got the numbers that were posted on ESFI
Yeah.
from
It's
an
kind of
official
like-
source, I think he said. So, I mean,
yeah, it's so at the same time.
I mean, it was bad, but now it's good.
At
I
the
mean, we
same
can
time,
bring it
yeah,
up.
Blizzard have listened. So, woohoo. Whether it be people on Reddit, people on their forums, Mike posted on Reddit.
Or
us
James
I
on
did,
the
I
big
did
show.
post on Reddit,
Oh,
actually.
no.
I think the people, at least in the Western world, are happy. I don't think the Koreans are happy, to be honest.
Well, of course not, because the Koreans are always going to be at the end, not the beginning.
I mean,
so
I
more
think-
money at the beginning sucks for them.
I think the thing for the Koreans is that, I mean, the distribution of Premier League is not the most important thing for them. It's the fact that this is just a lesser amount than what GSL used to be. So,
Yeah.
I think it's an extremely good distribution.
yeah, no, I think, I mean, I saw a Shu tweet that the $300 you get for first place in Challenger League is going to be the hardest $300 he's ever made in his life. But, because, I mean, that's going to be so hard. But that prize money is kind of like, but once you get into Premier, it's a good amount of money. And then, and it's only 20K for first. But the thing is, when you get first, you're pretty much going to go to the season finals. And then there you get another 5,000. So it's like, it's 25, not
You know,
20,
it's
right? Like it's
$20,000 over 3 months.
Yeah, it's not
Pretty
bad.
good.
It's good. Challenger League's a lot of different, though. I thought they'd be the same. It's $300 to $1,000, basically.
I mean, if you compare it with GSL Season 5, I don't really remember when it was, but I mean, there was $42,000 for the winner, so that's the double amount. It was $17,000 for second place, so that was $5,000 more. And then reaching semifinals was $4,300. So there is a big difference. And then it was 2.5, also significant. 1.7 and 1.2, so that's not so big difference. And it was just 12,000 more in that Code S. So I think that the Koreans just feel that winning and coming second is not as rewarding, but coming top 4 is better now.
I think it's very good.
But you
Let's
should
talk
remember
about
that if you come top 5, right, from a Premier League, you get into the season finals.
yeah.
Yeah, top 6 for hosting
Yeah.
region.
So that's that part. You know, you're for sure you can add 5,000 extra to the top 5
At least.
at minimum. And then I guess if you win like a Premier League and a season finals, or maybe come
rich.
second at the season final, maybe you're already done for global finals almost.
I like it.
It's good.
If someone put this prize distribution into, you know, like Quake or World of Warcraft, the games that were quite big a little while ago, I'd be very happy.
I would
Just
say
for the
though,
I think the growth would have actually been a lot better for those games, and that good prize money does add longevity to how long people are willing to kind of play and how
Yes.
much people are willing to try. So I really like the prize
do you
money.
think it's good if we remove BlizzCon and the regional finals? If you take away those two and look at its price distribution, do you like it then? Because I don't like it at that point.
Then probably not. Then I'd give a bit more juice to the
Well,
20,000 number.
Think of
Party
it.
as
Think of
well.
it this way, Hellspawn. The D2L, a Dota 2 tournament, ran for 4.5 months, I think, and I'm pretty sure it was a 10,000.
Yeah, D12 was
tournament.
10,000. Top 3 got paid.
Total. So many fucking matches over such a long period.
Was it
Like,
12 teams, 16 teams? 12, I think.
Yeah, but I don't argue about that. I just said if you liked it
I don't
as much.
know why we're bringing
about
this up.
this.
yeah, I'm happy with it. I'm happy
I
with
don't
it,
think
even
you can
without the
remove parts
season
of
or
it though, because it's
BlizzCon.
basically working together as well, and it's prize money over an entire year, which is really good.
No, I'm
It's an
fine with
extremely good
that.
system.
Like, if I was a Starcraft Pro in Europe and I could hit top 8, play along, guys. Top 8, you know, it's not so much different from 9th, 12th, but at the same time, it's still a good amount of money to play for there. And yeah, just over $1,000 a month for this only this tournament series. And if I'm a top 8 finisher, I should be getting some sponsorship deals, should be getting on a team. I'm probably not paying for my travel to go to the offline
Streaming
finals.
and stuff.
And I'm looking from top 8 to get top 5. And I have a reason to do so, because if I get into top 5, I guarantee an extra $5,000 for my quarter. And then, you know, if I'm going to stream, sure. So for the bottom, for the 32 to 16, it's great. You know, 32 to 9th, it's fantastic. 8 to 3rd, it's average, if you know what I mean, because you're going to feel a little bit like, oh, I could be earning more if you're getting top 8. But 2nd and 1st is perfectly fine for me. Like, if I won Europe's tournament and picked up $20,000 just for myself, even without the season finals, I'd be super happy in any game.
But remember, there are quite a few Koreans in the Europe one.
Yeah.
They're going to be, you know, paying for that
There's-
or playing for that top.
I mean, there's
4
only
slots.
MMA, 4GG, MVP. I mean, I think the European one is like like I look at the European one and it just to me feels like a very healthy ecosystem
Yeah.
to nurture the scene and get players playing.
There's a lot of
and
good
so
talent
forth.
in Europe, yeah.
Um, But the North America one, depending how many Koreans we see come through the qualifier, it's a little bit worrying.
I mean, I personally, and I don't know if I've stated this, but I would rather Korean players play in Korea, European players play in Europe, and American players playing. We talked about having residency, etc. Right?
Yeah.
Well, that's something that Blizzard are looking at in the future, apparently.
Yeah, but
so.
I also felt that the Korean tournament, just because it's so much harder and prestigious, they should have at least put in the prize money that they used to have with like GSL.
Yeah, I
and
feel
even
like-
then some more.
I feel like the prize money being higher in Korea would make.
I keep my point from last week. I don't think you should keep it like race or where you're born or anything like that. It should just be that to play in the Premier League of US, you have to live in that that country and play it in the studio. That would solve
X
everything.
regions, South America.
Yeah, because I think it's
America
great
and
the
Canada.
Polt or Violet or 4GG,
Muslim,
for example,
yeah.
or the Muslim can play in the regions where they live.
Yeah.
I don't see any problem with that at all, and I think it just adds extra value. And also for the ecosystem, I think a lot of people talk only about players, and like I said last week, I think that, or I maybe tweeted that prize money is nothing that players should consider to live on. Because that's just a bonus, as I see it, and that how the ecosystem needs to work like that. And I think it's more important for teams. And I think that for SK to be able to bring home MC, as they see it, to Europe, and to have him in Europe promoting their sponsors is a really good boost for SK and those kind of teams, or Team Acer or whatever it is. And I think that in the long run, that can make those teams earn more money, more sponsorship money, and then give more salaries, which give more stability and makes people be able to play 365 days a year. And then good to have some extra prize money to play for also.
I agree. One sec. I agree about prize money if you're looking at like a weekend MLG and DreamHack and whatnot. But I feel like if you're playing in a league that's ongoing like this, then being
You
like
should be looking at
being
prize
like
money.
I want to feel like this prize money is factored into my income.
And the
Basically,
thing, the esports isn't evolved as evolved as you want it to be in terms of all the teams. Sure, like EG, Dignitas, Fnatic, SK. But you're going to get players in here that don't represent those teams, and this prize money is going to be the majority of potentially what they are going to earn. And it's like sponsors are the hardest thing to handle within esports, because if you rely on them too much, you don't really have a business model. So as a player, I wouldn't rely on my team to be like, this is who's going to take me through esports for the end of my career. It's like my team supporting me. I'm going to go win this prize money. I'm going to go, do something with my Twitch TV stream or whatever you're doing. But you just you look at it like that. Like when I was in Fnatic, my wage wasn't huge at all, and it was like if I didn't come top 8 at tournaments, it was a shit time. but it was, the Quake scene wasn't evolved enough then, and I don't think that the majority of the Starcraft scene is evolved enough where people go like, I play for Team Acer, I should have $2,000 a month because I play in WCS. The prize money's a bonus.
No, but I'm
never
talking
gonna
about
get there.
esports in general, and I think that we need to build the ecosystem where teams can pay salaries.
Yeah, but
that is a foundation, not the prize money.
yeah, but it's more about it's the monetization methods. It's like people support esports like a lot of viewers, but we've done esports in such a long way, and everything's kind of for free that there's not a lot of income from per person who is involved as a viewer, right?
It's very little, actually.
Yeah, it's tiny compared to any other industry. So sponsors are too big of a factor, and there's still not enough sponsors to go around because we haven't made it mainstream. Like Dota 2 is, for me, the best esports right now, just because of not only the game I like, but outside of that, it's just the community can spend money. And they can spend money where they like to. Like, when you say monetize, it's not about how much money can we take off these people. It's more about, let's create different ways where people can spend their money if they enjoy different parts of the game. And this hasn't been created for this product at all. Like, what are you going to spend your money on WCS? Like, what are you buying as a customer for WCS? I mean, you can get attached to a team. You can buy his T-shirt. How many tickets can you buy? Do you have a season pass? Do they have benefits? Can you, like in Dota 2, can you buy a Team Acer, tag and win things in-game for your, Battle.net account? Like this...
Yeah, that's a big question, because, I mean, they are able to... Like, they said with their release, like, it's 720p everywhere, but ad-supported. There will be premium packages. I mean, GSL obviously offers higher definition. You have to pay for VODs. Or ESL and MLG, what are their models going to look like? And
I think for the players that it's better with like the LCS model, that actually you have the salary, and then teams pay you salary to be in your team to represent your sponsors, and of course teams want to pay those players because we reach 150,000 people at every second in the broadcast. So I think that for the players in LCS, that's even better. And then you go to this big season 3 final and win millions of dollars or something like that.
But the thing is Riot's a different ball game when it comes to this because
Riot,
Riot,
of course. But I don't say that Blizzard should do that or that Riot should put in this money. I just thinking
you have to ask yourself the question:
how?
What is Blizzard's business model? Okay.
Yeah, but
that's where it starts, right? It starts with the developer. What is their business model? You look at Riot and you go, it's pretty obvious, okay? Everything Riot does in esports is more powerful ROI than Blizzard because they have a free-to-play game. So every time that they have a stream, there's no barrier for people coming in to play that game. Blizzard are this company that I don't think would do stuff that's like free to play because Blizzard means.
But no, Blizzard will do like Hearthstone is free to play, and I guarantee
there's going to be lots of Hearthstone.
No, I was going to say I guarantee that Blizzard All Stars, they're not going to charge for that game, in my opinion.
But I don't think Blizzard have set up the correct business model around esports yet to be able to fuel.
Injecting more money into it, basically, to
also,
justify the spend,
and also creating ways that teams and players are able to make money outside of streaming on Twitch and sponsors. So, I think that's the big question when you come to WCS. If you're going to look at it as a project, it's like, what the fuck are you doing this for? What's the end goal?
Yeah, I just find my point so you get it. We need to nourish the teams. That's what's important in esports, as I see it.
I think you need to nourish the players.
Yeah, I think, independent product endorsements instead of having teams will be more common in the future. So
Teams are great because it's like you've got people with years of experience, and there's some really strong established ones that know what they're doing. But I don't know. I think the power is more or less on the players.
I think
But
always
we're
Alex
talking
Garfield would
lots of
bring
crap
more
now.
money to Naneva than Naneva can bring on his own.
Well,
yeah,
obviously, but Naniwa can still have an agent
Yeah.
if he wanted to, and just have someone look after him individually.
Potato, potato.
I mean, what Alex Garfield has done with Naniwa is essentially like move the way he runs his stuff being more closer to like an agency, because instead of going to a sponsor and like you get all these players as one big massive package, you can get all those players, or you can get this little smaller thing, and sooner they might add more little things to that, which just, because then it...
And like, interestingly enough, by running it under the alliance.gg, you're more powerful to start with, because what's happened is you've created something which is like potentially bigger than just Naniwa, because there's also no Tidehunter in there. But essentially, you could have done what he's done just through an agency without calling it anything, and just been like, here's Naniwa, Razer sponsored, And then I'm sure that Alex Garfield is looking at potentially more options in how to work with more people, because he's pretty good as far as it
now
seems
you're just
at
talking about the
sponsoring.
name or not the name. That's the only thing, right?
Yeah, but it's
Well,
branding
it's
and
kind of how
strategy
you
is
sell it, though,
important,
because
yeah.
if you sponsor
Yeah,
Evil
but-
Geniuses, you sponsor all of it. You can't just sponsor
Yeah.
Idra.
Like,
You get it all, and you have
If
to
you
pay
wanna-
for
yeah,
all of it.
You want to sponsor the Alliance now, you get no Tidehunter and Naniwa. If you wanted to sponsor him, just Coca-Cola, because you're the Swedish division of Coca-Cola and you think it's worth, sponsoring that Swedish player, even though he's international, but from statistics that Sweden's like top 5 in terms of digestion of esports streams, then you could have done it that way as well. But players are the key to keep playing. Teams are there to support,
Okay.
in my opinion.
Okay.
Moving along, we can talk about the point system then. we got through the prize distribution.
Yeah.
Basically, guys, teams are a thing.
All right, let me bring this
Stay
up.
tuned for teams.
Right.
I would
here we
love to hear a point from James now, as good as his prize money point was last week, but I kind of doubt it, though.
Well, I haven't actually seen
He
the point
hasn't put
system
any
yet.
thought into this, and I...
Hellspawn, you make the point system for DreamHack. I'm interested for your thoughts on this point system.
Right.
You mean for last open year?
Yeah.
Scriff, you can just bring this up, because...
Actually,
I mean, look at it. What
yeah. Overall, to say
at
that
it.
I think
Look at it,
Look at
Hellspawn.
that.
I would say that
Points.
this kind of point system is
Stare at it.
freaking fucking hard to make,
Yeah.
because you
Oh,
need
yeah.
to have all the data and maybe run simulations of last year. But as this year, WCS changed, more or less everything. So then you need to maybe run other simulations upon what you expect for 2013, because I don't know if Blizzard knows all tournaments coming in, and I think that these non-WCS were the hard part to
That's the big question I see,
to
because...
to get them into the rest. Okay, someone does good at MLG or DreamHack or IEM, but they shouldn't have to go to all of these tournaments, and some are invitationals ones like last MLG, and it's a hard part, because in the end it will be like, okay, this guy, if he goes to this tournament, the last tournament of the year, if he comes top 4, yeah, he will be qualified for BlizzCon, but if these other dudes come top 6, it's very complicated. Maybe it would be the WCS Season 3 that ends it, and like tournaments after and between BlizzCon, it's not WCS points, I don't know, but it's very complicated and interesting. But I like it that, for example, winning a season of finals, you're probably top 5, so at least you should have 3,500, which is significant more than anything else. And I like that part. Winning this big tournament makes you more or less secure
basically
for BlizzCon.
guarantees you...
Yeah.
Because BlizzCon, it's only 16 spots.
Yeah.
I think it's extremely hard to predict how it's going to work out.
Like, when I look at this...
I hope someone actually qualifies by not playing any Challenger, Premier League, or season finals, but only playing Tier 1 and Tier 2 tournaments.
I don't think it's
That's
possible.
not
Would be
possible.
Yeah, I
so
think it's
funny.
possible.
I mean,
With top 16, if it's really... if the points are really spread out...
It all depends how many non-WCS tournaments get points and how they assign them, because, I mean,
Is
like,
DreamHack
is DreamHack, is every
or
stop
Tier 1?
going to
Yeah.
be a Tier 1? Is only DreamHack Winter going to be Tier 1? Like, and then if that's the case, then is...
I think it'll be
Lone
just
Star
organisation,
is-
right? It'll be DreamHack Tier 1, everything Tier 1. right? I don't think they can.
How would they? Yeah.
And I mean,
how
what
would
are
they rank
the-
like Copenhagen Games? Would that be tier 2?
Would it be anything? You know.
I mean, like with IEM and MLG being so busy running WCS, if they end up kind of moving more to like an invite, show mat exhibition 16 player thing at theirs, and it's only invites, can you give out WCS points for that? Doesn't that screw everyone else? So when do you?
It would be also like tournaments not having WCS points, being like not tier 2 but below that. They would be like, okay, Blizzard is more like, not giving their hand for it. And
No, but that's
I mean,
very
how
fair,
will they
so.
promote tier 2 and tier 1? It's a lot of things into this, but I think I can just say I like it. Overall, I like it, and I like that.
I agree.
I like that. For example, DreamHack is a part of WCS, even though it's non-WCS, and I think it's like makes sense for the storyline. I think that, like I said, in the end, coming close to BlizzCon, these random tournaments, if you can say it like that, gonna matter so much because that may be those last points to get to it, or like, this guy, he won this tournament, he won Code S, that made it enough.
Yeah.
It's so much storyline into this,
BlizzCon's
and they
not-
build everything together.
Well,
So I like it.
The first point system really done on a tour was WSVG.
Yeah.
Properly.
I don't even remember that point system.
I don't remember it. Yeah, I remember it about points, but not. You played in it, right?
Yeah.
Did they even do a full season?
Yeah, they did stops. London.
No, they stopped in the middle. WSVG.
Kentucky.
But did they finish a season?
Yep. They finished the season for one of the games, then the other one they didn't, and DreamHack had to host the final. No, ESL hosted the finals at DreamHack for the World of Warcraft WSVG, and I got invited with my team because we were top 8 on points, but we were shit. And then we came 8th, but we won prize money, free trip. For World of Warcraft, but they also did it for Quake, you see. But I actually liked it because when you were at the tournament and we went to London, and it was like, before the tournament even started, people kind of knew what placing they had to get minimum to make it to the grand finals.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
WSVG Quake definitely finished in New York. It's
New
the
York,
grand
yeah,
finals,
I
But
remember.
WSVG, when they ran the second time and they went with World of Warcraft, they didn't actually finish that tour.
Yeah.
And then DreamHack hosted the finals off the points that they had and invited the teams, or ESL did, and ran it at DreamHack with 8.
Yeah,
I think
I
it was
think so.
ESL.
Who won the Guitar Hero tour?
I actually know this. He's the guy that does all the special effects on YouTube, as well as Freddie Wong. Yeah. No, I don't think he won it though. Actually, he won the first stop, and then someone from Pandemic won it. That was very crazy. But Freddie Wong was actually, I met him. He was
That's cool.
playing the Guitar Hero tournament. But the point is like the point system. It's hard to like. Even
It's hard
I
to
would say
make.
it's hard to actually mess up a point system because people will learn how to abuse it, but you don't want to mess it up anyway because it can have some big
They're probably gonna-
impact.
they're
So
probably
I'm
gonna
quite happy
have-
with how it
yeah.
looks.
They're
I
probably gonna
actually go on. Sorry.
I was gonna say they're probably gonna have to tweak it anyway from this season to the next because there's gonna be minor stuff that doesn't.
Do you
work,
mean
but it's
this season or this year?
this year?
Yeah.
This year.
For next year, yeah.
Um,
Maybe, or maybe not. Maybe
There's-
it
yeah,
played out
Yeah, it
not like they
be
wanted it, but maybe gave some extra also into it.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, there's going to be really good storylines, and some of the matches that people don't care about nowadays, like who's going to be 7th or 8th, those matches are going to be exciting as well.
The thing that makes this point system really, really good is that compared to a lot of other point systems in StarCraft, it's usually if you get top 4 any of the stops throughout the entire year in the point system, you've kind of qualified already. But because it's so nitty gritty when it comes to playing at BlizzCon and there's Code S or GSL, they got
I mean,
all
there was a
these
problem
different
for
things.
Open last year.
There was
There's a
problem
Open,
for,
Interstream Masters
IEM
was
as
a
well.
major thing, and you also have a lot of cancellations because these guys come over to play for the prize money, then they get put into the point system, don't really think about that, and then at the end they're like, well, we weren't really thinking about that, but with this, it's going to be a lot more important for these players.
If you win your Premier League and you win the season finals, you got 4,500 points.
It's a lot of points.
There's 3 of these a year. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've pretty much, if you're top 16, if you win a season finals, you should be qualifying.
It's more. You can see it like if you win the season finals, you have at least have 3,500.
Bare minimum, yes.
Oh, yeah, because
you get re-qualified.
You could qualify, yeah. But if you win both, you're most likely going to be qualified. Yeah, but which is what I like, because it's like, it's okay if someone just dominates and like boom, boom wins. you're like, okay, he's definitely going to go. Even if
Yeah.
it's top 16, he's going. But if someone comes top 5 and then first, they'd be like, you still look at that person and be like, well, you actually need to do something next season or the season after.
Yeah.
But if they perform well next season, they should
Yeah,
be in.
the
Well, that's the
situation-
storyline Blizzard wanted
The
to make,
situation I
right?
maybe wonder about is if you come in the last season before BlizzCon
And you win
and
the
you've
season
worked your way
finale.
up through Challenger League, and then this is your first time in Premier, and you win that, then you win the season thing.
Do you
Do you
qualify?
like because that should be enough points? I feel right. Like if you dominate the most recent season
You'll be
utterly,
getting challenger points though as well. So
but Challenger points are kind of insignificant. I mean, they're
I want to correct myself, by the way. If you win the season finals, you get 3,000 from it. At least you have 5,000 from your Premier League. But if you lose that one, you at least have 100 from the next season, and then 25 from the season after that. So
There
I'm
you go.
fucking confused, mate. with where
Good on
you went.
Hellspawn.
going down the hill, you know.
I think for this to work though, and for the storylines to be created, they need a really good website with the rankings published.
Yeah, that was
if you don't
next
bring,
point.
If you don't bring something like that, it's going to be null
IM
and void,
point
basically.
system on the ESL website was really easy to navigate and find and use.
It's good.
DreamHack was also fairly good, I would say. But I would say this, that
Wikipedia entry was great.
CPL World Tour 2005, I think, with the Painkiller. I love it when you came to the final and went through the earnings throughout the season. Like, you know, this guy Strider from Fnatic, he got this prize money.
Yeah.
He came third this season, you know, and so on and so forth. And then they played the final.
Yeah.
But I hope and I think that Blizzard have realized that it would not be SC2earnings.com that would decide that Parting probably is the best player 2012.
Yeah.
It would be this ranking
Well,
system.
that's what they're aiming for, a unified point system that
Yeah.
can make this kind of call.
Because this is the world rank.
Well, the
This
thing
is the world rank.
It's quite funny what you say that, because if they didn't have to put in external WCS one-off events, you could run the whole point system based off prize money. Because it's, you know, the prize money dictates how many points, but then when you go to DreamHack, obviously the prize money is going to differ.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the most prestigious tournaments, not normally, but one of the big factors is the prize money, because it normally draws the best players and has the best tournament. So you
But
could
then you
almost
have
run
some-
the
then
whole
you have,
season
like-
off prize money.
Then you have one-off events like the IESF events, basically that offer like $90,000, and there's usually like no Koreans, and there's
Yeah, but you can
crappy
just,
qualifiers.
Yeah.
it's like you can just say what you want involved in the league.
Yeah.
Like, because
I'm just saying, if you go off prize money only,
Yeah.
it could be a bit distorted.
well,
It's a great hypothetical.
Good point system.
We should move on. It's a really good point system.
okay, so we're going to go into...
This is some breaking stuff here.
MLG.
MLG has put out.
Hellspawn.
They've put out the Premier groups.
Yeah, I mean, all these groups still have.
Have they? I haven't seen these
one
yet.
more
What was this?
qualifier. Yeah.
Was this today?
Yeah, no, this is during the
Breaking
show.
news.
Oh, okay.
Congrats, State.
Let's
Here
have a
it
look.
is.
Alright, Killer Major Hero. Scarlet State. Alright, State, you're screwed. Idra's in trouble as well.
Do you think Capoche has a good chance?
No. Sorry.
No.
Can't
Um,
even find him in the... Oh, there it is.
Seems to be good groups overall.
they're relatively balanced, to be
I
honest.
guess you can see how they seeded it. The third player in each group is the non-region person. I'd be curious about how they went about the rest.
And then,
but-
well, you can see the top
They should
line
have
is
a
the
high
better
and low
player of
seed,
the rest,
yeah.
and the
Yeah.
second line is mid tier, and then the third are the invites.
so Killer is, I guess,
Yeah,
on
I mean-
paper, Killer is above Major.
In terms of international results and whatever, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's.
I mean, every-
wait, isn't
every
it strange
player-
that Sappi's above Major?
No, Suppy's above Hello Kitty.
No, but
But yes,
no,
in
he
that
would
regard.
be because of his
Yeah.
WCS results. He
didn't Major qualify?
No,
not for
the
China.
grand finals now.
Oh wait, he was in China.
No, but Sappi
He was?
took the last spot, right? No, Sappi didn't qualify for North American WCS. He was
He
knocked
replaced
out by Huck.
Ostigi. He replaced Ostigi and went to China and had the best run
Oh,
out of
I'm
foreigners
totally
in
off.
China.
Sorry.
I think, based off what he did in WCS, is probably why he got, you
Yeah.
can call
Right.
it top seed over America.
I mixed those two up. Sorry.
Yeah, I thought, like, can't Hellspawn read? He's above Hello Kitty. And I was like, oh, he means tier.
Can't wait for those MLG night skyline shots at the office once again.
And the other thing they've got
But-
here is their.
I
Oh,
think
do
it's
you
good.
more to say? We can.
I think it's good. I'm
yeah,
kind of
the groups
excited to
look
be honest.
cool. I mean, but to me, what doesn't look cool is the broadcast schedule they've got from Monday the 22nd to Thursday, April 25th. They're having their qualifying tournament with 4 matches each night. And the qualifying tournament runs on the 20th
Replays.
and 21st. So this
Replays.
like there's not going to be any Adebisi gets to go on Team Liquid and see 20 streams of all the matches in the qualifier like right now you can do. It's going to be hand-picked replays
Oh god.
for best of threes each night, and
From 512 people.
from a 512 person double elimination bracket.
Right.
It's a bit boring.
Yeah, I hate replays. I mean, even Dota. Me and Mike talked about it before. Dota has 10 people,
You
and
get
all your
friggin'
tournaments
10
are
nerds
freaking live.
To
and
play
Starcraft still
in
has
these
replays.
tournaments that
Two
last
players.
4 months long, and you can get them all to show up on time live. And I mean, I just don't understand why MLG isn't doing what ESL has done. I mean, like, you just get community casters. You have your one stream with nice production, whatever. You got some overlays, hopefully. You know, that would be good. And then you just get all these other community streamers to come in, and it's a big event.
And ASL TV have been streaming
Yes.
WCSEU, right?
Yeah,
They're actually doubling the ESL viewers. The last time I looked, anyway, it was
Yeah,
7
they've
to
got-
Have a look
14.
now.
Go Rotterdam and Mr. Ville.
They've got 14,000, and WCS Europe has 8,000. So
Yeah, so double basically.
Wonder
That's an
what
interesting
Is that your
topic.
point?
But
Huh?
That NASL should broadcast the online part.
what do you think though about this whole not like I just because it's like I don't know I have no hype to watch replays of a qualifying tournament that
No,
I mean
Especially when they're going to be leaked, probably.
well that's the thing are they going to
Always
try
happens with MLG
and
events.
not leak it and then the fun part is certain players
I think they would try.
the Muslim's going to be like, guys, make sure you tune in tonight to see my matches. or he's going to tweet, guys, I fucking hate that I didn't get an invite. And then he's like,
game sometimes.
I guess you got the Muslim. Guess you got Jadong in round 3 or something.
but the connection from a viewer knowing that you're watching something that isn't live is such a big deal.
Yeah.
It's not because it's like, okay, you're going to see what happens in the game anyway, but for me, it's like, I know that person right now is either at
Feeling
home
something.
or doing something. You know, I know that they're going through this live.
Yeah.
And when I see things go bad, there's like a
Real-time
weird
reaction,
connection. It's
yeah.
like,
Even
I
if the
don't know.
replay's half an hour old, it's still a replay. It doesn't matter how long. It can be.
Yeah.
It can be half an
I
hour. it can
mean,
be a
like
week,
right now, I
doesn't
turn
matter.
on an ASL TV and I see Beastie Cutie and a TVT, like knowing that this is his 3rd qualifier, and right now he's sitting there playing his ass off because he knows like he has to get through today or tomorrow, and that's it. But if it's like a replay that's a few days old, there's just
But
like I'd rather there be no broadcast, and it's like Code A when you're just spamming F5 to see the bracket go further and further than watching games. Like
Yeah,
I just don't like it at all.
I think it adds some extra into it that you can see these players in all these other tournaments and you can follow them on Twitter and so on. I think maybe if it was, I don't know, some big sports event, maybe when you don't have the connection to the players, maybe it makes more sense to have some like replay or rerun or
Maybe
Well, I mean,
this
it's like
10 years
poker
ago.
tournaments are often recorded and then broadcast like 2 months later.
Yeah, it doesn't
and
really matter. To me, it doesn't really matter.
for that, yes, because it's just on at 4
It
a.m.
depends
and
if
you're
you
sitting there in your
follow
underwear.
that
like,
specific tournament though. You wouldn't
Yeah.
like it if you were following.
Oh,
that
of course, so
tournament.
that specific poker player, yeah.
Yeah.
True.
But is it maybe also like MLG? Are they doing all their broadcasts themselves? Because ESL, they're letting community casters, even NASL are in there.
Yeah, it's all MLG.
well,
if-
this has to be completely closed off to the public. I mean,
Yeah.
But
Don't spread those results.
well, it's ESL have done what I think is the best out of. I wouldn't say a bad situation, but having a lot of content very quickly that you're not ready to do, all yourself, and get other people to
I
help
mean, it's
you.
no different than like DreamHack Day 1.
Yeah.
I mean, even the part of the round of 16 where you get someone off-site just to help broadcast the games. People just show as much as possible. And
I mean, ESL are so used to work with a lot of community
Yeah.
casters. I mean, all the IEM, I don't know, IEM is so great. They have like 25 streams or something. I don't
Yeah.
know. Freeze Polish and it's crazy.
Yeah.
And I mean, MLG has also worked with those, but I think that
They always
for
have
some
them
tournaments,
on-site. They
community
never-
streams has been welcome. For some others, not.
But like when it comes back to the business model again. If you're not ready for ESL to maximize what you can do off having this gig, you might as well build it as big as possible with community help to ensure that the viewers get the best experience possible and people actually connect to the product. Okay, and then think about how are we going to do this, how are we going to work with our sponsors on this, how are we going to make this a working kind of project that's lucrative to the company so we can continue employing people in esports and keep doing what we do. You make it as good as possible from the get-go without spending money, community casters, right? Because the viewers are going to love that. Mike loves it. MLG, it's like, we've got the content, which makes us the powerhouse of this project. We can't broadcast it all. We do replays. So the viewers are going to be like, that was shit in comparison. Because you've got
then you've got NASL covering ESL stuff for
and
just
then,
to do it.
And if MLG don't connect with like the viewership in terms of what they're doing, it's the second stage of when you actually get to put in your money and your business model and how you want it to be. You've missed an opportunity, which is building out your brand. I mean, you have to do that at the beginning. And so I think that ESL's handled the start of this way better so far, especially if MLG are just going to do replays. It's pretty shitty.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's
I like community streams. Like, man, it's a good way for coming up streamers. I mean,
Well, I
Yorosar
think
was a community caster for, I think it was MLG or was it IPL?
He's done everything.
And then he
pretty
did a
much.
lot of DreamHacks, and then like, let's have you on in one of our events just because you've done, you showed yourself what you can do and that you're a great caster. So, and I think like VasaCast we used the Italian.
Yeah.
I mean, I would never have heard of that if I hadn't seen through some of these community-ish stuff.
But this is huge for NASL TV, and it's very odd as well. We should mention this because NASL obviously wanted WCS contract. I haven't heard of NASL starting their next season in Starcraft 2 for a long fucking time. After they're saying that season 5 I think is coming and it's going to be hot. I don't think they're going to do it because of what's happening with WCS. So it's kind of like, are they looking to be a subcontractor to ESL TV to help with the European?
I think they're
stuff?
doing for a lot.
I
for the
think
fun.
this-
No,
is-
but
I mean-
also, NASL are going to want premier content because they have a studio that costs money to have on a daily basis. Rotterdam and Mr. Bitter cost money to have on a daily basis. If they're not doing season 5, how many shit shows can you run where you're like, like they have these really odd little shows right now in ASL. Pulse is nice like that, but some of the stuff in between is like you're not putting the people that you have working to you to good use because you don't have a product now. ESL have the product and MLG have the product. So there could be something that comes out here in terms
basically
of...
moving into a broadcasting unit
looking
instead
at-
of a league.
Looking at today alone, I think it was just like Mr. Bit and Rotterdam, like, we'll cast a day, we'll probably do it from the house, and then Mr. Bit was probably like, well, I can go ask Russell if we can do it in the studio. And Russell's like, yeah, fuck it, use the studio. And that's kind of how I see today in terms of future plans. I don't think they're looking at WCS. They can't look at WCS any other way. There is
I mean,
no
it only
opening.
works for the qualifiers.
Yeah, there
when
is
you've
no
got
other
this
opening.
big thing, and I mean, I think
Qualifiers are once every couple of months. This isn't
Yeah.
going to be something that they can look at.
but I think it kind of brings into light how NASL
Don't
doesn't have
anything.
much going on right now. Like,
Well, the way that... Okay, so if we look at Intel Stream Masters and DreamHack Open, their point systems can't work because there needs to be Blizzard point system. It kind of works the same way for NASL. Had a league, they can't have that. They can't have a different league.
yeah,
So how
It'd
can-
be really awkward to have
They
like
can't have it.
NASL broadcasting 4 days a week
Yeah.
with the same players that
I mean, so
WCS.
how do they even run Season 5 NASL? It
I don't
doesn't
think
even
they're
make
going
sense.
to.
I don't think
they
the only
can't.
thing I
see it
think that
happening.
people can do these days in StarCraft are team leagues. But I don't think they
Well, that's
connect
because
so
Blizzard-
I
much.
mean, it's the
folk
same
in-
for Iron Squid to a big extent, isn't it?
Yeah.
with the
Yeah.
online
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, but
But
isn't
it's
like
more-
all
it's
this
more of a-
online part is the
but-
financial part of the whole project.
But Iron Squid
Well,
was more of an
no.
online tournament. It wasn't really a league. It was lots of groups spread over a longer time compared to NASL, which was 4 groups of 10 players, basically a league.
Yeah, but still, like seeing Iron Squid when you have WCS, it's like bringing
Yeah,
this
I mean,
weekly content thing.
Iron Squid was two to 3 nights a week, I think. It was like every Wednesday and Sunday evenings.
I feel like they could trim it down, because it's basically an online qualifying section for an offline thing. It's not like for them. It's kind of like the online stuff is supplement. I don't know.
Well,
but
you got to think
it's
is
like,
that weekdays in StarCraft are completely full weekdays from now on, because Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday are pretty much WCS content. Whether it be America, Europe, or Korea, it will be full.
24 hours.
Yeah, it'll be
Yeah,
because if you think about it, GSL is in the morning, 10, 11 a.m. every morning. You're then going to have the European one will run in the afternoon, and in the evenings you're probably going to have the North American one. Almost the full week full of content. And on the weekends, yes, they'll be free, but then you're going to have the non-WCS tournaments coming in on those weekends. So there is no even room for anyone to come in.
And the thing with NASL, a studio similar to ours, but obviously theirs costs more money. Ours is like...
better.
Yeah, but it's like... But the point is like the online stuff that you do is key to your business model, because it's cheaper to run. It gives a good amount of exposure to sponsors on camera. You're like, hey, this week you can get your sponsors and out there on a daily basis. If they don't have that, they go to offline events. But unless you're DreamHack, you're not running, or you've got Intel Extreme Masters or MLG, you're not really doing offline events properly, because at DreamHack, the sponsors go there because there's a shit ton of people at DreamHack and there's lots of booths and stands and it's a festival. Intel Extreme Masters, they go to Gamescom, CeBIT. NASL, just to go, hey guys, we're going to be doing this just to an offline event. What do? Go back to that cinema room that they went to, which they barely filled after having all that online stuff. The online stuff was key to being able to talk to your sponsor again and going, look how many people saw.
Well, this is when we have North American Major League Gaming form.
Well, actually, looking at it, I think NASL might be dead, because I don't think they can move to Dota 2.
Well, this is something we've been talking about as well. It's like
Newman declared it dead
R.I.P.
on the 16th of April
'Cause
2013.
I've been thinking about it. Where do they move? Do they move to another game? They can't do
Well,
Starcraft.
they're
They can't
already
do a
doing
team.
more.
Tribes.
They're doing more
Here's
World
the
of
news.
Tanks.
You're missing the key one here, Hellspawn.
World of Tanks. They're doing.
Boom.
They've done a lot
That's
of content on that.
That's what he
So
did.
why
The
would-
thing
why
that
would
gives
Mr.
life.
Bitter and Rotterdam stay at NASL?
That's
They're not
the
doing
thing,
proper
though. Where
Starcraft
do they
content.
go?
They should commentate World of Tanks.
I think they are considering going back to ESL potentially.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that
Or MLG.
they've got a connection with NASL where they've been part of it and they've helped what that project has come to be. But I think if NASL to go Dota 2, they're going to have too tough a time. BTS will do what BTS are doing, which is their own studio. Purge doesn't care so much. He's on YouTube.
He's on YouTube. He's in the Western
AC,
category.
I think AC is part of EG's agency, which is just EG Media House. So, who knows what EG are going to do? Maybe they're going to build a better studio with one more game.
Stop a minute.
Stop a minute, James.
Hammer time. James doesn't like teams. They should be agency. B, now there is an agency. Blah, blah, blah. It's not good either.
No, I'm fine with it, but it's just like it's not really an agency. It's running through the.
It's
EG
not
company.
really, but it is. Or it's not.
It's not set up business-wise to be.
It's an agency without a business.
No, it's the agency and it's EG's business.
Okay.
No, it's.
Well, I mean,
just
what-
like
How EG works is kind of weird because you've got like you're not strictly an agent. You're much more than that. Like
So the thing is, NASL aren't going to be able to get the commentators that they need to take on like BTS in North America. They've done some stuff with Blitz.
From an investor
But
standpoint.
I mean, all of the stuff, all the
losing
content
money.
they do right now is just basically using stuff that's sitting around. Basically, like they haven't even created new graphics and art for the stuff. It's always like
there's
Newbie
the Pulse logo
Tuesday,
on
but
every
the
fucking
Pulse.
show.
Like it says the Pulse, and then you've got Newbie Tuesday with Greetorp. Like so, I don't know what they're doing, but it feels like they're not really trying. It feels like they're just kind of sitting there.
I mean, we have some shows here where we're just like, a couple of days of fun content is nice. It doesn't have to be a tournament. Let's do like full of steam. Me and Scriff like playing shitty little games. It's pretty fun. And then we also have Beat the Studio, where we actually give back, we hope, to the community, where we
Giving
let them
back.
slay us. So, these are the only two shows that I would be like, that's all we can do. Because if we start doing Newbie Friday and beat the studio and full of steam, and we're an esports studio.
Learn to play.
Yeah, well, Learn to Play was good.
Yeah.
Because that ran.
It
No,
ran.
it was okay. Learn to
It
Play
was okay.
Because we actually put the sub games after Learn to Play, but we realised that people enjoyed playing the sub games more than the Learn to Play. But the point is, it was like a sole show. But like, we just filled 5 days of content with that. We wouldn't be an esports studio anymore. We'd just be like some random entertainment studio.
North American Star League, World of Tanks, Pro League.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
I mean, isn't
Like
let's stop it at that.
Clutch and Great Orb, hand in hand.
I think Clutch has been
Great
doing a lot of
up
up to
running
speed
these tanks.
specials on World of Tanks. I think he was even casting some at WCG
He
last
did.
year.
He did.
So there you go. They got a World of Tanks guy.
Yeah.
They might not have Dota people,
and,
but they got a World of Tanks guy.
I mean, with BTS, it's like it doesn't matter if they wanted to or didn't want to work with NASL.
They will work with World of Tanks.
They raised money, like 30-something thousand, through Kickstarter to build their own studio. So they take that money and be like, "Oh, it's all right, guys. NASL are going to hire us." And then you've got 30,000 in the bank. So they can't do it, unfortunately. BTS.
I don't think they have to do it either. I mean, they got their own. They got their own stuff running, so
Well,
The NASL are better.
Mobile.
Yeah.
Skip it.
I think we're done with Starcraft.
Skip.
No, I think
Let's
we're
just-
done with WCS.
Oh,
actually.
fuck. Non-WCS.
Hey.
ST.
Bruno's
signs
upstairs
with
swearing.
EMG.
should just move through this stuff. To be honest,
So Nestea's signed with EMG, which is the agency who works with Tasteless and Artosis.
There's
And,
some more people there.
have they all done a lot?
and Clutch.
And Clutch
Yeah,
and
they-
White
Raw.
GP.
They've been doing
White
stuff.
Raw.
They've been getting people some pretty good deals, like personally with like TTE
I mean, TT Sports.
and
I mean, they've
mainly.
launched, I think, the Handsome Nerd website again.
That launched today, right? I think.
No,
I
not
haven't
today. I
checked
saw
it.
it before.
Maybe I dreamt about it. Is it live?
Maybe
Is it? It is back, right? Handsome Nerd.
we're gonna find out. We'll
It's
see if
back,
it's on
isn't
better
it?
web hosting.
It's back. If it's not back, I definitely dreamt about
No,
it.
it's back.
Okay.
It's up and
back.
now it's down.
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
White Raw T-shirt contest.
Oh, I remember this.
But yeah, so they're obviously going to be looking at this project that I think is it both Nick and Dan set up together.
Nick
Yeah,
and
this
Dan
is
made it a
originally-
long time ago.
Yeah, and so they're going to be looking to just make this more profitable.
Yeah.
And obviously you can see White Ra, someone else also under the agency is there, and Artosis loves Nestea and was like, "Hey man, this agency's great. You
Yeah.
should join."
Got their bet you thing
I
as
think
well.
we should just
which-
move on to the next topic.
It's their, what are they, part owners slash, what are
what?
they? Nick
The-
and Dan.
the
looking
Handsome
for
Nerd?
bet, yeah.
Oh, I don't know. That's like an app. I think they're just paid to endorse. I have no idea.
Are they paid to? I thought they were, I'm pretty sure they had money in it, or at least,
Okay.
I'm quite sure.
And lastly, DreamHack have something to release. It's apparently a video. Do we have sound?
Oh no.
Oh, is it loaded all the way? It doesn't look like it's loaded all the way. Hellspawn.
Wait, don't put it on yet.
Games failed.
Oh my god.
It's so funny
Don't put it
because
on yet. Take the sound off.
I think it's gonna be good.
Sound is up.
Sound is off now? Okay, let me just see if
Yeah,
it
look,
goes.
it's fine.
Okay, it's fine, yeah.
Yo, put
Is
that
this-
in
is this
HD.
what I
What are you
think it
doing?
is?
Oh, I need to
Yeah,
put
it
it on
is.
HD.
Oh,
Don't say
God.
anything, but
Oh,
I
wait,
think
say it.
Wait.
Sean has seen a bit of it.
Wait,
Sean
I
knows
need
everything
to,
about
I need
it.
to load it a bit again. So you need to turn the sound off again.
No, it's fine. Oh, God.
Yeah,
Can't
but
you
wait.
just mute
no,
it on
look,
your
it's
screen?
lagging here. Wait,
But that's YouTube these days.
it's YouTube these days. Okay.
Yeah, just let buffer for a bit.
So,
Oh, God.
Hellspawn, would
So
you like to introduce
professional.
it and I'll click play?
Nah, it's we just thought it would be fun to release something on the good show, and hope you like it. it's for DreamHack Open.
I haven't seen this.
Woo, hype!
You
Hashtag
can
hype.
go to the screen. I'm going to hit.
That's
Where
amazing.
did you record that? When
All
we
right.
were walking around in a
Yeah,
bunny outfit.
I think it was suited to show what
It was a
Apollo
good
is
video.
doing, finding these Starcraft nerds.
See, all you guys think I'm lazy not making videos. That's why I'm walking around the streets of Stockholm.
Was you actually in the streets of Stockholm in that bunny outfit, or did they did you get a bunny double?
May have had a body double.
I fucking knew it.
Fucker.
I like the way that when you had to wear the bunny outfit because you didn't have a belly, you had to.
It was a pillow.
When did you record it at the house? I didn't know.
You were asleep, mate.
No, you were at the movie.
Oh no, was it?
I was mean, was it? Okay.
A lot of people were asleep though when that was going down.
I love the way it's like the lounge where it's just like there's a little desk that holds the projector, two sofas, a box that holds the speaker on it, and then a random big
Starcraft
Starcraft background.
It's a good video though, right?
Bunny
That was the
double.
first time I saw it, all of it.
Yeah.
It was really good.
I actually heard them saying they were going to do something like that, but then I thought they might have put Robert in the bunny outfit because I didn't see you do anything. But it was good.
It's meant to, basically what the video is about is to, you can correct me if I'm wrong, is to emphasize it's DreamHack Open, that anyone can participate in DreamHack this year.
Yeah, and
How
these
many
people,
spots do you have in DreamHack?
these people. I don't go there.
Except for those unlucky 60 people,
I
it's
think-
open.
Actually, these people in this movie are participating on the 26th to 27th of April in Stockholm, competing. So I think that's a baseline, and we thought to do something else, and all this dubstep and hype is more like building some storyline coming into this tournament, and also Apollo noticing these people. Maybe some of those are a Neo guy who can defeat some big shots and even become the champion.
So basically, someone in chat said, TG Deadman, he didn't really say it as a question, but I'll ask it. He says, so is it basically a fuck you MLG video?
No, not at all.
No, I don't
It's
look
totally
at it like
separated. I mean, we are trying to do stuff for our events. We don't really look around what everybody else is doing at that point.
The basic argument that guy said in chat was going on against the open bracket. DreamHack Open was DreamHack Open long before the open bracket was actually gone.
Yeah, that's true.
Saved you.
And
Saved you.
I think the storyline from just to give that point even more depth is just the storyline at DreamHack is that go buy a ticket, bring your computer, you can go home with a grand prize like Mana did in 2010. That's just the story foundation of DreamHack.
But in reality, you're
esports.
probably not going to beat Taser or Hero.
No, I think these people
Or
will
Jadon.
have a
When I
hard
first
time.
saw it, I was like, fuck, man, this is some weird Donnie Darko anti-pedophile
He has some
program.
Darko feeling over it, yeah. But probably you can find on our DreamHack media on YouTube or the open.dreamhack.se should have it up. And I mean, talk about the video if you like it.
Yeah,
on
Greg
your
Carney,
favorite
it's-
social media things.
Reddit.
Don't say that. Maybe you get banned like me.
You got banned on Reddit once?
No, he's.
It's a joke. It's a joke.
I'm pretty sure Hellspawn shadow banned.
Also,
but
Coach
that's just
Park
me.
is going to DreamHack Stockholm.
Yeah. I'm actually. I have some kind of man crush on that guy now because just in the way that he comes back, he goes into the team. They win 2 straight games. I watched
then
their third
then
They
against.
lost the next two.
Then what happened?
I watched the game against KT Rolls as they were up 3-0, and
Yeah.
I noticed their game between Jaedong and Flash. That this big game between Jaedong and Flash, and then Jaedong doing some like mid crazy push, and then coming out and just fist pumping up to head coach. Yeah, this tactic, it worked. So I think that head coach Park is doing a lot of things that works in Pro League.
He's got to keep them from sinking right now, though, because they have lost the last 2 games in a row. As long as he can stop that from happening,
Yeah,
that'll be good.
I don't. The other loss was that like a major
It was a
defeat.
4-0 versus
4-0.
Teammate.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a big defeat. Yeah.
It was 4-0 versus Teammate, and then they lost when they were winning 3-0 to 4-3. So even though it's a close game, it's still almost just as emotionally impactful as losing 4-0. So it is quite 2 big hits they just had. But with Coach Park, who has a lot of experience, I mean, we talked about it last week, I'm pretty sure he's going to be fine to whip these young snappers into business and, whip them into shape at DreamHack Open as well.
But I wonder as to how he would be suited for such a tournament. With so many games and group stages, and it's not like running a pro league. Normally, running these big tournaments it's about playing safe play, play what you know, and trying to play extra safe. At least when you reach until the final stage. So I don't know, because Coach Park, I think people say that you can see that EGTL is playing more of like a risky play, like a one-time strategy kind of thing.
Well, that's I mean, we don't want to talk about this for long, but that's just Pro League in itself. Pro League is designed to swing one way more than the other with a strategy, because it's not overall gameplay, which a lot of the EGTL players were used to, because they went to open tournaments where you had an overall gameplay, but when it comes to team matches, it's specific strategies versus that specific opponent. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be great though. I think also, I think one of the main reasons for him to come in as well is to look after Jaedong as well, because that's something that used to happen in Brood War days. Is when all the Brood War Koreans travel to international WCGs, is they always had their coaches with them, always, and were with them every step they moved.
Shit, man. What if you needed a little bit of
Wait.
Privacy.
Well, they're not allowed it.
I remember.
Don't get that in a
wasn't
team
there a
house.
story at WCG 2010 from Los Angeles
Yeah.
where like Cal and someone else were swimming and
Alright,
Cal
so-
like saved his life?
Okay, so that story, it wasn't J-Dong, it was Flash.
No,
No,
I said
it was,
Cal.
It was Cal that was drowning. It's a good story, this. Cal that was drowning, and I think it was Flash or someone that saved his life. It was a couple of players anyway, but what it was after the coaches went to bed, the players got together in a room, started drinking, then decided to go swimming at 5 a.m. And this is like Flash and Cal and some others, and may have accidentally, one of them forgot they didn't know how to swim.
So Flash had to save him.
Flash saved him. Or
Reckon
something
he's
like that. I
still-
can't
yeah,
remember.
I
Someone
thought
was like,
Slot saved him.
He was in there. I don't know the full story. I can't remember it. But it was something along those
It's a good
lines.
story.
It's a good story,
Those
though.
managers are good to have.
Gotta
Especially
stop
in
their
Dream.
players from drowning.
Lifesavers. Yep.
But it's gonna be, I mean, it could be good to see Coach Park there.
I'm responsible. I wouldn't let my players drown in a swimming pool. It's good though. I'm really good with them. You can't drown in a whorehouse, so well, technically. But they don't deserve to go there
Standard
anyway.
joke.
Fucking losers. Keep losing.
I know.
Those
I saw.
Sanders.
Bad.
We know Coach Park, it seems.
Well, is that all
We
for
done
Starcraft?
with
I don't know. I
Starcraft.
haven't got a document. Is that it?
Yeah, no, we are
Yeah,
actually done.
I-
I just, unless you guys have anything else that you want to add and really piss off the Dota 2 community with.
Yeah, shit, this segment was long. I'm sorry.
It's WCS.
I
so-
apologize to Dota 2 and the general esport community for this long segment.
I
Thank
apologize
you,
to the StarCraft community that you have a fucking Dota map behind us.
I
Sorry.
apologize about the wrinkles at the top of the Dota map. It's kind of eyesore.
I don't apologize for doing this, Griff.